Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on stories from the Puranas. And today we'll be talking about a very interesting story coming directly from the Puranas about the birth of the Pandavas. And since this is coming directly from the Puranas, I will request you to have firm faith and belief in it. In our earlier videos, we did discuss as to how these two brothers, Dhritarashtra and Pandu, were born. And of course, their another brother, Vidur, was born as well. Dhritarashtra was born through Ambika, Pandu was born through Ambalika, and Vidura, the third brother, was born through the maidservant. And all these three brothers were fathered by sage Vyasa. So people who have not watched this video or the video on the birth of these three brothers, please refer to the earlier videos. And today we'll be talking about the birth of Pandavas, who are the five brothers and the sons of King Pandu. King Pandu was made the king because the older brother Dhritarashtra was blind. And it so happened that King Pandu was in the woods one day, in the forest one day, and he was hunting. And by mistake, King Pandu killed a rishi, a muni, who was in union with his wife in the form of a deer. So he was gone out for hunting. He was in search of a deer for hunting, and he killed the deer. However, the deer was actually a rishi, a muni, a sage, who actually had assumed the form of a deer in the forest, and he was having union with his wife. And Pandu, although he killed the deer by mistake, he was still cursed by the dying rishi. And the curse was that if you ever have union with any lady, you will die. That's the curse the rishi gave Pandu. So Pandu, according to the curse, could not have union with any woman, including his wives. He had two wives called Kunti and Madri, as we've discussed in our earlier video. And because of this curse, he could not have union with either of his wives or any other woman. And once Pandu, King Pandu, was cursed by the Muni, by Rishi, or the sage, whatever you may call him, he became very sad, and he had no reason to live. So he abandoned his kingdom and began to live in the forest. And his two wives, Kunti and Madri, followed their husband, which is King Pandu, as chaste women do, and served him in the forest. And he started to live in the hermitage of the rishis, of the munis, of the sages. And King Pandu, from a king, he became a normal, ordinary person, listening to the shastras, or the religious scriptures, and practiced severe penances and austerities. So he had no reason to be in the king, because he could not enjoy his kingly pleasures. He could not have union with any woman. He could not produce children. So he decided to live in the forest with the rishis, with the munis, with the sages. And while listening to one of the religious discourses of the rishis, he heard the rishis saying that a man who is sunless, or who does not have a son, can never ever go to the heavens. So he must get a son somehow or the other. And according to the shastras of the ancient scriptures, he heard the munis, the rishis, saying that in case the person is unable to produce his own son, he is allowed to get sons through other people as well. It could be, a kinsman or a nobleman who was appointed to get an issue so that the family could continue. And once he heard this, there was a desire in him to have a son, because he wanted to go up to the heavens after he died. And so he talked to his first wife, Kunti, and asked her to get sons for him And he said, well, I heard the rishis saying that you will not incur any sin if you have a son through another man. And he referred it to certain other scriptures, but in the past people had done that, and the scriptures, the dharma, allowed that. So Kunti was a little confused first. She gave it a thought, and then she told Pandu that, look, I have a mantra which was given to me by the great sage Durvasa, and according to that power of the mantra, it is so powerful that I can invoke any devata or god through the power of that mantra. He will instantly come to me because he'll be controlled by the power of that mantra. So after taking permission from King Pandu, who was living in the forest along with his wives, she invoked the devatas to get her impregnated, just like she got impregnated before her marriage to Pandu by the god Surya or sun, and got Karna, whom she had to give away because at that time she was not married and she was in shame and she could not have kept Karna and raised him, so she had to float him away in the running waters. And Radha, a woman, a wife of a charioteer, got him through the floating casket in the flowing Ganga river, and that's another story. Please refer to that earlier story. We'll not get into that, but she knew the power of the mantra, and with the power of the mantra she could invoke any god. And here her own husband had given her permission to do that. So after getting permission from King Pandu, she invoked a devata or a deva or a god by the name of Dharma. He was considered to be the best of the devatas because he was about dharma, about righteousness. And once she invoked him, he came and he got Kunti impregnated. She got pregnant through the devata Dharma, and in due course of time gave birth to the oldest son of Pandu, who was named Yudhishthira. And then the next time she invoked god Pavana, or he can also be called as Pavana Deva, and through Pavana Deva she got pregnant again, and a son was born to her, and he was named Bhima, the powerful, and he makes a very important character along with the other Pandavas, of course, in the great epic Mahabharata, and we'll come to that in our forthcoming videos. And the third time over, she invoked through the power of the mantra, Lord of the Devas, or the King of the Gods, Indra, who impregnated her, or she became pregnant through Indra, the god of the gods, the god of the Devas. And this time another son was born, who was named as Arjuna, the great warrior Arjuna, who plays a very important role in Mahabharata, as we'll see in our forthcoming videos. So this way, through the power of the mantra, Kunti invoked god Dharma and got Yudhishthira through him. Then she invoked god Pavanadeva and got Bhima through him. And the third time she invoked the Lord of the Devas, the god of the gods, Indra, and she became pregnant again the third time, and she gave birth to Arjuna in due course of time. So although these three sons were called the sons of Pandu, technically they were the sons of these devatas or gods called Dharma, Pavanadeva, and the Lord of the Devas, Indra. So this way she got three sons in 3 years, and these were very powerful and mighty sons. And then the second wife, Madri, after she saw that Kunti had 3 sons, she spoke to her husband and she asked her husband, "What should I do now? Please suggest me a way to get sons as well, just like Kunti, as she had a desire to have sons as well." And she was she was in a lot of pain. And so Pandu asked his first wife Kunti to give her the mantra so she might also get 1 son. So this time Madri, the second wife of Pandu, used the power of the mantra which was given to her by Kunti, invoked the twin Ashwins, and Ashwins are also gods. And of course, Ashwins are god, and as per Hindu scriptures and mythology, of course I don't call them mythology because they are not myths. It is a fact. But according to the ancient scriptures, the twin Ashwins are gods, and they came, and they're actually divine physicians. They're physicians to the gods. And then they came and they impregnated the beautiful second wife of Pandu called Madri, and through the twin Ashwins, Madri got a pair of twins, and they were named as Nakula and Sahadeva. So although once again the 2 sons, the younger 2 sons of Madri were called the sons of Pandu, technically they were the sons of the god, or the twin gods, Ashwin. So this way 5 Pandavas, since they were sons of Pandu, they were started to be called as Pandavas, and this way the 5 Pandavas were born. And once these 5 sons of Pandu, the Pandavas, were born, Pandu was extremely happy. And in due course of time, one day while living in the forest, Pandu got attracted to his younger wife Madri in the hermitage, and he tried to have union with the younger wife Madri. And although Madri did not want that, he somehow could not stop himself. And then as soon as he tried to do that, he did die instantly. And that is because of the curse of the sage, the Muni, which we just discussed, who had cursed him that he is not allowed to be in union with any wife or any other woman, otherwise he'll die instantly. And so he did die right there in the forest. And the 2 wives were very sad after losing their husband. They all asked, "Who are these 5 sons?" And then Kunti, explained them each and every detail. And then of course there were questions, and there was disbelief, and people were not totally convinced. And then, just to prove her point, Kunti invoked the Devas, and who came down on earth, and they confirmed that yes, these 5 sons, or the Pandavas, although they would be known as sons of Pandu, they were actually born out of our union with Kunti and Madri. And then once they confirmed that, once the Devatas and the gods confirmed that, Bhishma then duly honored the boys, the 5 boys, and then gladly agreed to raise them. So this is the story which is coming directly from the Puranas about the birth of the sons of King Pandu, the Pandavas, who were named as Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva. Hopefully you enjoyed it. In the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with the continuation of stories from the Puranas in my next video very soon. Goodbye.